All right, you guys. So it's an end of an era, but it's not an end of an era here yet per se in America. It's an end of an era over in the UK. And it's only a matter of time before it happens to that big guy right behind me. You know, it's something that was a major part of my childhood. So, anyways, we're going to get into this article. We're going to talk about exactly what's going on and how they're saying that it's an end of an era. Anyways, you guys, don't forget to mash that like button, comment down below what your thoughts on it, and subscribe because every little bit helps. UK's biggest gaming store rumored to end trade-ins. So the reason why I went with the GameStop background is because if you look over there, the name of the store is Game. So I typed it in. I tried to find the banner for it, and I could not find it anywhere. I tried. And then I was like, I'm not going to use this because that just looks janky. Staff from the UK's biggest video game retailer, Game, has told the Eurogamer the retailer is stop accepting trade-ins, which, if it's true, is an end of an era. And let me tell you, like, it's crazy to think of any video game store, especially a brick and mortar one, such as Game, if it's basically the equivalent to GameStop. Like, I don't see how they're going to stay afloat. Anyways, we're going to continue. Game is the UK as GameStop is the US, as in the remaining game retailer after eating up all the others. It's been around in some form since 1992 and was bought by Electronic Boutique in 1999, or upon all EBs changed their name to Game 2. So this is some question I have, and it's kind of confusing to me because I thought GameStop in some kind of capacity actually bought up Electronic Boutique, which people here in America know it as EB Games. So I'm not sure if GameStop actually just acquired like all the EB Games in North America, or if they acquired them just in America, because I know EB Games is still around in Canada. Something to look into. Maybe somebody out there actually knows. And if you do know, comment down below because I'm kind of interested to find out. I'll probably do some research after this. But like GameStop and pretty much every other brick and mortar retailer of physical media has spent the last decade or so clinging to life. I'd say for the better part of the last 5 years, especially since more and more people are pushing towards the digital space. And then on top of that, you got Game Pass and you got PlayStation Plus that offers people to, hey, pay a yearly subscription, monthly subscription, what have you. And you have an access to a ridiculous library of games where GameStop's no longer really needed. And then on top of that, I will admit, before the GME, Diamond Fist stuff, I was about to buy some GameStop stock. And I kind of kicked myself that I didn't because they said that they were set to boost the stock value after the release of the physical consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. And when those came out, the stock price just went and it dropped. And like I said, it's one of those things, like, I feel like GameStop is only propped up right now due to the fact that people are still Diamond Fist, Diamond Hands, we're going places. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things. Anyways, in 2012, Game went into administration after its financial situation was dire that major publishers refused to send its stock. I'm guessing administration is like bankruptcy in the UK. I'm not exactly sure. Comment down below if you know, because this dumb American doesn't. Since then, various new owners have tried everything. US readers will be familiar with the remaining stores now filled with plushies, Funko Pops, board games, Pokemon cards, and anything else that captures the gaming-adjacent zeitgeist. But through it all, Game has always operated around trade-ins until now, it seems. See, this sounds like a carbon copy of GameStop. But Game doesn't have the diamond hands that GME GameStop had, which was able to prop it up, and that's why it's continuing on. I feel if that didn't happen, I don't think they would have made it through the pandemic, which is crazy to think about. The decision feels very much like part of the worldwide trend as physical media struggles to find a reason to be in a primarily digital space. Now, this brings me to another talking point, and that being with what happened with PlayStation and when it comes to digital media, whether it's video games or whether it's TV shows, movies, what have you. If you guys did not hear about it, PlayStation actually ended up in hot water because they were refusing to renew licenses when it came to some of the Discovery shows or all of the Discovery shows. So if you out there bought Naked and Afraid season 6, guess what? You're SOL come January 1 this year because they refused to pay for the licensing to allow it to continue on. And basically, all you're doing when it comes to digital media is you're leasing it. You don't actually own it. And I try to explain that to people, and that's why I love physical media. Is not just the art of the cover and the art on the back and being able to open it and look at the DVD and take said DVD and put it in and actually see it. Like it's the thought of, okay, potentially, okay, I might go watch The Big Lebowski, one of my all-time favorite movies, on Amazon or let's say Microsoft Store. And for whatever reason, Microsoft has a falling out with whoever has the distribution rights of The Big Lebowski. Guess what? I can't watch that movie. Tough shit. It's just one of those things. But that's something that a lot of people don't really think about when it comes to digital media versus physical media. And that's why I love physical media, because I know if I go to my bookshelf back there, I'm always going to have that movie back there. I'm never going to have to worry about potentially booting it up and not having it. Best Buy announces on January 3rd that it will no longer stock DVDs, Blu-rays, and obviously physical media. Stores are suffering closure redundancies everywhere. But as a Brit, trade-ins at game are just part of the furniture of reality. You've just always been there. Which, I mean, it's just like GameStop. Here in America, like GameStop is always there. Anyways, I spent my Saturdays in school and school holidays working in game stores for years of my teenage life, having hung out inside of them unpaid for years before. To this date, I used to be in charge of the VHS section. I now take my own kids who have never seen a VHS nor held a DVD to our nearest game for multiple birthday parties and the belong attached to it. I've been the person arriving with carry bags of games and a person who's refused those games because of the scratches all over the disc. So he's talking about basically working both sides. Being the person working in the game store that's like, hey man, sorry, it's too scratched up, we can't accept it. And being the person that's like nostalgic, talking about seeing his friends in there, going and hanging out with people. Which, I mean, that was like video stores here in America. I used to hang out at the video store right next to the grocery store I worked at. I made a lot of really, really good friends there. Now, many of them I don't talk to anymore, but there was times where I understand this feeling where you go, you talk to the people there and you make good friends. Trade-ins have always been a two-edged sword. In their favor, giant publishers hate them because they allow a person to recoup value from their own property without paying the publisher again for some reason. And also, it's funny when giant publishers get mad. Against them, it's such a ripoff for customers who are paying so much for a product. The store already sold it at full price at least once at a marginal discount. Let's continue on before we get into the meme. While my expression of it was in the 90s, I'm aware of how much we paid for relatively recently released games. $60, about $25, and how much we sold it for, about $55. So the $25 right here, so we paid $60, the trade-in was $25, and then the store turns around and flips it for $55, which is 100% true. That's why a lot of these game stores operate on the margins they do, is because of trade-ins. Those markups would be even more pronounced with older games where I'd acquire them to off. I'd require to offer about $3, stick a label on it for $15, but in pounds, obviously. And yes, that's how the free market operates. But it was amazing the amounts of free money for those stores. Which, I mean, it's true. Like, there's a lot of these games that they're like, hey, we'll offer you X amount. Now, there's a lot of shovelware. They're like, nah, man, we're good. But it's only a matter of time before GameStop really starts doing the same thing as Game, where they're like, no, we can't accept trade-ins anymore. Because when was the last time you seriously went and bought a physical game? I did actually 2.5 months ago. I saw a deal on like Grand Theft Auto Trilogy for my PlayStation 5. I went and bought it. But at the end of the day, there's just so much of of this where you're like, shit, they can't keep it up because there's not going to be, it's genuinely, it's not even worth it anymore, especially for the new consoles. Anyways, this old man's rambling aside, it's quite the thing that pre-owned market might be providing so lacking in value that game would abandon something that's been part of the chain's DNA for over 30 years, which, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if most of the people that do the buy and sell stuff is mostly younger kids. We've done our best to contact Game to find out if the rumors are true, but they're not. Now owned by the ghastly Fraser Group, Sports Direct, which owns a worrying proper portion of the games, of the shops on every British high street, and press contact appears few and far between. I've never even heard of them. If this is an indication of trends, it seems likely U.S. chains will follow suit. It might be time to clear out the shelves for some store credits before it's too late. And truth be told, he ends it with that, hey, you may want to go and clear out your shelves for store credit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I'm telling you right now, GameStop, if they were to close their doors, you're SOL. I mean, shit out of luck. They're going to close their doors. Your store credit's gone. Gone. Just like, it's not worth it to me to, go and cash it in. I'm much rather hold on to, my physical stuff here. But it is crazy to think about potentially not having GameStop and potentially not having that meme around anymore where you can go and cash out and, hey, you bought that game for $60 yesterday. Best I could do is $5. And then they flip it around for $52. Because a lot of games nowadays end up on Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, stuff like that, 6 months down the road. And then on top of that, most games, after about 2 or 3 months, are usually about half off. So save your money. So that's just like my take on it real quick. Like I said, save your money. If you're looking to buy games, if it's a Pokemon game, guess what? That's probably not going to lose its value. If it's a Mario game, it's probably not going to lose its value. If it's a sports game, save your money. Don't wait. Just wait. And if it's a ripoff, such as Red Dead Redemption port over to the PlayStation 4 and 5, save your money. Wait until it goes on sale. Don't get ripped off. Anyways, you guys, I just want to hear your thoughts on basically GameStop's cousin in the UK really suffering where they're like, we're done with used games, guys. Sorry. Till next time. Let me know down below. What do you think? Or do you think it's only a matter of time before GameStop ends up in that same boat? Anyways, you guys, have a wonderful day and I'll catch you later.